Good morning and welcome. I'm so excited that you're here. My name is Deb Erickson and I am a neuro trainer, a business mindset expert, and I work exclusively in the network marketing and direct selling industry, supporting women, right? Helping women understand how their brain is wired and how to use that knowledge to elevate their business, feel more confident, know their value and their worthiness, and be able to move past fear into action. Now, I want to talk today just briefly about coaching because there's so many people out there that want to be a coach, right? I wanted to be a coach. I was a teacher and a basketball coach. And when I moved into this industry, I thought, man, I want to coach people to their greatness. And I love that. I love that. And if you are that person that says, man, I want to know how to help other people be successful, then this is for you. I want to talk for just a brief minute here today about the difference between traditional life success and business coaching and neuro coaching. Now, neuro coaching is what I do, and it feels and it looks quite different. Let me talk for just a minute about traditional coaching, which really comes from, guess what, business coaching, sports, that kind of experience where the coach has to be the one with the wisdom, the knowledge. That's why coaches get paid. Talk about, college basketball. They get paid big bucks because they have the knowledge and the experience, and they give that experience to their team. They hold their players accountable and they give their people knowledge and wisdom, and that's how you create success. But neuro coaching is completely different, right? Neuro coaching is saying that you understand how the brain is wired and you have the ability to pull out of another person incredible ahas and success just with the power of that knowledge and with powerful questions. So let me tell you what I learned about the power of questions. Here's the first one, that when you wire up somebody's brain and you watch their receptivity and the activity, the neural activity that's going on, there's something that happens, and I'm going to give you 3 different categories. The first one is simply when you give someone advice, when you give unsolicited advice, the brain of the receptive person or the not so receptive person, it only wires up about 1 percentage point, which means that its ability, the brain's ability to receive the information and then be able to apply it to something, it's about 1%. Unsolicited advice, which is what a lot of coaches do, right? They say, this is what you should do, get out and do it. I'm going to hold you accountable. You are talking to a rock. Have you ever felt that way? If you're talking to a rock, what it means is you are pushing energy, your idea, your advice to someone who is not receptive. Now, all of that changes when the individual is receptive. In other words, they want what you're giving them. So when you are talking to a receptive learner, that's the person who's like, okay, speak, oh wise one, I'm writing it all down, right? And in that instance, they will receive and retain and be able to utilize about 20% of what you give them. That's why if you're a teacher, you got to teach over and over and over. Repetition is the key because they're only getting this small little piece in this moment. So here's the really exciting news, right? When you ask open-ended discovery questions and the individual has to go inside their own mind, and their own mind is making these neural connections and new neural pathways, and they have that eureka moment, that aha moment where they're like, that's why I keep doing it. That's why this keeps showing up. That's why I'm stuck. That's why I'm afraid. That's why I can't move past or go forward and back and forth. Oh, this is why this is happening. So when an individual, and you'll ask an open-ended question and the individual has the aha moment, guess what? They are receptive at 80%. They can utilize what you're giving them at about an 80% level. Instead of 20%, which is a willing learner, or 1%, which is a enthusiastic resistive learner. guys get the difference? Well, I don't know about you, but I learned a long time ago that if I'm in that authoritative position where I'm trying to tell people what to do, it's exhausting because nobody does it. And even when I'm in my teacher mode, which I love teaching, I know that people are only going to get a percentage of what I'm saying. But when I take the position of a thoughtful discovery, power question, and then I'm quiet and I let somebody process that information, that's where all of the great learning happens. So let me ask you a question. Do you know the kinds of questions that will cause your team, the women on your team, do you have the questions that will cause them to dig in deep and have that explosive aha moment? Yes or no? My guess is no. Because if you had them, you'd be using them. And I'm guessing you're not using them because you're probably in the authoritative coaching position just because nobody's ever taught you anything else. Nobody's ever given you the tools and the questions to unlock the incredible potential that sits in all of us. If you've ever looked at somebody in your team, you look into their eyes and you're like, I can see your potential. Why can't you? Have you ever done that? I used to do that all the time. There's so much potential, but nobody can bank potential. The key is, can you unlock that potential with a power question that causes an individual to go, oh, I get it. And now, once they're open and they're receptive, now and only now can you give them the tools and the techniques and the understanding so that they can rewire the brain, elevate their confidence, move boldly into action, past fear, past doubt, past procrastination. If you're tired of dragging, pulling, bribing, pushing, then it's time for you to learn power questions to radically up-level your team's behavior. I'm Deb Erickson. I hope this has been helpful, and I want to give you some powerful questions to help you uncover and help your team discover their compelling why. If that sounds good to you, if you've enjoyed this and that sounds good to you, then I'm going to ask you to follow the link and download my little cheat sheet worksheet, watch the little training video so that you understand the power of these questions and how you can become an incredible leader, a neuro coach in your own right, by simply having command of the understanding of how women's brains are wired and the power questions that will move them beyond where they're stuck and into amazing action. I'm Deb Erickson. I want to walk beside you and be your neuro coach as well. All right, guys. Love you much. Check that link out. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.